Hello, I am Jessica Hernandez, and today's instructional video will be on the Los Angeles Public Library's TESSA photo and digital collections. In particular, today's topic will go over navigating the Shades of Los Angeles photo collection. Before we begin, I'm going to go over some learning objectives for today's presentation. First, we're going to go over the purpose of the TESSA archive and how they collect the materials in their vast photographic collection. Second, we're going to teach users how to navigate and conduct searches in the Shades of Los Angeles photo collection and find results relevant to their research. Lastly, we're going to give information on how to access the content, whether it be digitally, physically, or in reproductions of the images for personal or commercial use. For those unfamiliar with the TESSA photo collection, it is one of the largest digital photo archives, containing over 130,000 digital photos in its collection. That means that the images are not just sitting on shelves, but they have all been digitized and ready to be viewed by patrons and users all over the world. The physical collection is housed in the Los Angeles Public Library, but physical access to that has been restricted. The library began collecting their vast photo collection in the 1940s, and most of the photos have been acquired through donations. Today, I will be showing you how to navigate the Shades of LA photo collection, which is a specific photo collection within the larger TESSA archive. This specific collection consists of over 7,000 images, all of which have been donated from family albums. Topics covered in this collection include daily life, social organizations, work, personal and holiday celebrations, migration and immigration activities of those living in Los Angeles during the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. When curating this collection, extra emphasis was given on representing marginalized communities, so you'll find a lot of information on Asian American, Mexican American, and African American families within this collection. This is the page you're met with when you log into the Shades of LA collection database. The database is accessible from the Los Angeles Public Library website, which will take you to the TESSA digital collection. You do not need a library card for the Los Angeles Public Library or to be a California resident or Los Angeles County resident to access any of this information, as it is available to any patron without any login information or payment required. So the first thing you'll see is that you're just met with endless photos, which are displayed based on relevance. If you really have no idea what you're looking for, you could go through these and kind of click on them to see the different keywords that they provide. You'll see when you highlight them, they'll give keyword searches. So if any of those might be relevant or what you're kind of looking for, you can get some examples about what to search. But a better way to search is to narrow your search on the left side of the screen. The format will all be photographic prints, so you don't need to mess with that one. But the subject might be useful if you know what ethnic group your family belonged to. So here we have Mexican Americans, African Americans. We also have women and children. So this might be useful to narrow it down to maybe if you're looking specifically for photos of your Armenian relatives, you can click on this Armenian photograph. Or if you're looking for a photo of somebody who would have been a child, you can narrow your results to children. Another useful narrowing criteria is year. So we have circa 1945, 1930, 1925. So this will really help you narrow down the time frames, as they do cover a wide range of years in this collection. Something you can also narrow down is by photographer. However, most people will not know this information, so unless you know for a fact that somebody took this photograph, it's not really something I suggest narrowing your search by. I found that the most useful way or most meaningful way to narrow my results to specific people I'm looking for is to first narrow it down by location. So if you knew where your family lived or what neighborhood or suburb of Los Angeles they lived in, you can type that into the search bar. So I know that my family lived in Watts in the 1930s. So I'm going to search Watts. You can also narrow your search over here to the 1930s. So see, I don't see 1930 exactly, but I could do 1945. So using both the neighborhood and the date, I have narrowed it down to photos that might be more relevant to my family. Another useful way, you click out these, it'll give you the results for just one search term. So make sure you search or X out the terms that you don't want to search any longer. But another useful thing is to search just by last name. Because these are donated from families, a lot of them do give the information about who is in the photos to the cataloging team. So you are able to search a lot by name. So here, my family was Trejo. So I was able to locate 2 photographs, and these are of my relatives or my ancestors. These are my great aunts who are no longer with us. So I'm going to click on their photo. It is my grandmother's 2 sisters who were twins. So it gives me that information, portrait of twins, their names, where it was taken. And here it gives some subject terms for you to narrow your search. So Mexican American families and twins. So if I wanted to see more photos about either of those groups, I can just click on the image. So those 2 are the most useful ways I found in navigating this database is to search by town or neighborhood as well as last name. Once you have found the photograph of your ancestors on the TESSA website, you might be thinking, what's next? You can't view any of the photos in the collection in person. However, if you are a researcher with a very specific request, you might be able to contact the library and request special access, but it is up to their discretion whether they want to grant that to you or not. Items in the collection are intended for personal use, and they're not to be reproduced without written permission. To receive that written permission or a copy of the photo, you need to submit a form to the library and pay a fee. The fee depends on the intended use of the photograph, and they do allow for commercial use, such as hanging in an office building or being displayed in a home. If you have any further questions based on what you found on TESSA or just general genealogy questions, I suggest reaching out to the History and Genealogy Department at the Los Angeles Public Library, who will be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you for your time, and I hope you're able to find some treasures on TESSA.